How's it going, folks? Welcome to what is sure to be another fun at-home table read. Tonight, we are doing another abridged series here. We're doing the entirety of WandaVision. All of the, I don't honestly don't I forget how many episodes there were, but they were all great, and I want to see how we kind of abridge them down. I'm seeing 9. Okay, I'll take Kevin's word for it on that. I'm rambling, so let's just jump right into introducing ourselves.
Hi, I'm Mary. I will be doing an action description.
I'm Chelsea, and I will be Elizabeth Olsen.
I'm Logan. I want to be Paul Bettany.
And I will be Kathryn Hahn.
I'm Curtis. I'm going to be Evan Peters.
Kevin, I'll be Tiana Ferris.
I'm Eric. I'll be Randall Park.
You already know, but I'm Travis, and I'm playing Emma Caulfield.
No, we don't.
All right, well, Kurt, Mary, take us away.
WandaVision, Abridged, written by Jill G. Payton, the Marvel Studios logo, with updated clips from Maximum Emotional Impact, now includes new sequences like that time Chris Evans and a hammer sent an entire movie theaters into a complete and utter meltdown. Exterior, episode 1. Yes, your screen is supposed to look like that. Blissful newlyweds, Elizabeth Olsen and Purpaul Bettany drive into a small, unassuming town probably inhabited by totally insignificant citizens whose well-being no one will ever give two shits about.
So we're totally a married couple now, even though people never saw our wedding or knew that we were engaged or ever really understood why we fell for each other in the first place.
But what's important is that we have a cheeky little theme tune to get stuck in everyone's heads in precisely 3 seconds.
And you schmucks thought Let It Go was catchy.
Interior, Dick Van Dyke's kitchen. A still blissful and still newlywed Purpaul and Elizabeth are busy conforming to the stifling gender norms of the 50s.
Have I ever told you how much I adore that indestructible head of yours, honey? And no, this is not at all a thinly veiled attempt to gloss over my unresolved trauma from your recent death.
My recent what now? Well, I'm off to work at my vague sort of computer-based job because I, too, am a vague sort of computer.
Purpaul is about to head out the door when Elizabeth interrupts him.
Aren't you forgetting something, dear?
Ah, yes, of course.
He sprinkles some fairy dust and transforms into Paul Bettany.
That's better. Have a wonderful day washing dishes, darling.
Paul makes like a tree and leaves. Like one sitcom second later, there's a knock at the door.
Hiya, Lizzie. Don't mind me letting myself in and making myself at home and just generally doing some old nosy neighbor stuff.
Oh, yay! Another named female character. 5 minutes in and we're already about to pass the Bechdel test.
So, what's a single gal like you doing rattling around this big old house?
Well, I was intending to find a healthy way to cope with the grief of losing everyone I love, but I don't know, taking an unsuspecting town hostage felt more flashy.
Isn't that supposed to be a mystery?
Well, there's no way fans are going to sit around watching us make outdated quips in period-accurate costumes for 3 whole episodes, no matter how gosh darn charming it all is. Oh, hi, Disney. Right, forget I said anything. Silly, brainless housewife me.
Interior, generic office building. Paul is busy being a world-class pro at his job that he could probably do from home. Let's be real. When he gets approached by his boss, Fred Melamed.
Now, that's a chokeable face if I've ever seen one.
I'm here because it's time for hilarious sitcom shenanigan number 1. My name is supposedly a clue that today is a very special day.
Splendid. Does that mean my Amazon package is finally set to arrive?
Paul goes to call Elizabeth right in the middle of the workday to tell her the good news.
Lizzie, my love, my silicon cupcake liners are en route.
Oh, sweetheart. Kathryn here just reminded me that we'd better get to the baby making ASAP before viewers lose interest.
We'll tell them they're 1 episode early. Also, Fred and Deborah Jo Rupp are demanding we feed them tonight. So maybe we should sort out the mechanics of that other stuff tomorrow.
Why not kill two birds with one stone?
I agree. A poultry entree sounds like a marvelous dinner idea. See you tonight, my love.
Into Dick Van Dyke's living room, Elizabeth and Paul and Deborah and Fred get tangled up in a series of wacky misunderstandings before Elizabeth remembers that breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
So, when did you two first bone?
Didn't your mother ever teach you manners?
Skip the table reading. Now I forget my lines. All right, stop it. All right, stop it. All right, stop it.
I have absolutely no idea to handle this ship in the power dynamic.
Oh, Paul, help him.
Paul finally springs in action, phasing through Fred's throat to retrieve a rogue strawberry.
As I thank you for your wife not killing me, Paul. Here's a pay raise, which is somehow not the most arbitrary reason I've granted a promotion before.
Fred and Deborah narrowly escape the madhouse, leaving Paul and Elizabeth to turn in for the night. With his remaining fairy dust, Paul reverts back to Purpaul.
We should probably say something memorable and snappy right now. Ah, yes. We are an unusual couple, you know.
Oh, I don't think that was ever in question.
A hexagonal shape. Don't look too much into it. Closes around this totally normal married couple. Then suddenly the aspect ratio switches to a standard cinematic widescreen. How much do I get paid for this? It takes 22 agonizing minutes, but the duo true antagonist is finally revealed.
Me?
Extra episode 2. Yep, still grayscale. Deal with it. Purpaul and Elizabeth are seconds away from testing out his destiny-changing abilities when the Disney Plus sensors start pounding on the bedroom window.
Not cool, guys.
Let's just magically push our beds together and everyone will fill in the gaps themselves.
Using magic to solve minor inconveniences. Why didn't we think of that before?
There's going to be a lot more where that came from.
Cut to exterior animated Bewitched style opening sequence. Just when everyone's finally managed to forget the 50s tune, we hear an even more addicting brainless jingle.
WandaVision, 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 WandaVision.
Interior Bewitched living room. Purpaul and Elizabeth are cramming for the talent show.
This is our most challenging obstacle yet, so listen closely, Paul. In order to fit in here, no one can discover our superpowers. So we're going to do a magic act and pretend we suck at it.
Or we could just sing a duet or something, avoiding any magic altogether.
I bought myself this glitzy leotard and I'm going to wear it, damn it.
Exterior Sassy Bitches poolside clubhouse. Emma Caulfield Ford and other sassy bitches gather around the pool to humiliate Elizabeth.
This is going to turn into a meme, isn't it?
Already has, hon.
Hi, Lizzie. I don't know what's going on, but you're wearing pants, so I can only assume you're totally harmless and clearly the smartest among us.
I'm a tad bit too famous and too self-aware to just be a one-off cameo, right? Ah, shit. I'm totally going to be the scapegoat for wild fan speculation, aren't I?
Interior Dude Bros library meeting. Paul is in the library with all the same dude bros. He also happens to work with because limited casting in a sitcom is a thing, y'all.
We are gathered here today to engage in a civilized debate pertaining to the topic of whether chewing gum, strong emphasis on the word chewing, Paul, is considered food. Please discuss.
Paul gets offered a big, juicy piece of hilarious sitcom shenanigans. Number 2.
Must remain focused on neighborhood safety. Screw it. Might as well get paid to act wasted while I still can.
Paul tries to swallow, then immediately chokes on a piece of chewing gum. And oh, geez, are we gonna choke on someone every episode?
Somehow this gimmick is meant for lols now, whereas it made everyone shit their pants when it happened to Fred at dinner.
Exterior cult meeting, talent show. A very gum-drunk Paul is seconds away from spoiling Elizabeth's carefully calculated plan for PTA domination.
Damn it, Paul, get it together. Emma may have just suffered massive colorized blood loss, but I still think she trusts that I'm the victim in all this.
Elizabeth, with no help from Paul, totally nails the magic performance. And is someone gonna get David his grandmother's piano back? Exterior neighborhood, street past curfew. Elizabeth and Purpaul are lured outside to investigate the unwelcome introduction of well-meaning sword agent just doing his job, inconsiderate jackass trespasser, emerging from a manhole dressed as a beekeeper?
No is a full sentence.
Interior bewitched living room. As special treat, Elizabeth decides to splurge on color TV and a side of immaculate conception.
I'm totally the father.
Well,
Miss me, bitches.
Exterior episode 3. And you thought the 60s humor was uninspired. A very obvious pregnant Elizabeth cavorts around town with Paul for the convenient length of yet another catchy opening sequence before facing off against misogynist Dr. Oldsby.
Yep, that's my real name. You can't make this shit up, Lizzie. You absolutely only have one baby in there, which I know because I am a completely competent physician.
Somehow we doubt that.
Interior Brady Bunch living room. Elizabeth and Purpaul are getting a montage of building cribs and changing diapers and decorating the nursery and debating baby names. And it's just really freaking cute, okay? Let them have this.
so glad to see we're upholding the expectation that women remain supremely glamorous whilst being hugely pregnant.
Your pregnancy appears to be accelerating even faster than the typical sitcom rate, which means we're running out of time for actual plot development before the baby comes.
Suddenly, all the lights and appliances start going totally apeshit. And if this doesn't convince people it's all Elizabeth's doing, who knows what will?
This seems like a perfect time to put my not at all retcon super speed to good use.
Super speed? Say, that reminds me.
Did someone call for a stereotypical sassy black best friend?
No, actually.
Say, Lizzie, you wouldn't happen to have a bucket of more nuanced BIPOC characterization for me to borrow, would ya?
This is the 70s. Lower your expectations, sister. Also, if you could kindly avert your gaze from my watermelon-sized belly, even though I just spent the entire theme song very clearly baby shopping out in public, that'd be swell.
Of course. Hilarious shenanigan number 3. How could I forget?
Exterior concrete fence. What the fuck? Who has a concrete fence? Paul is outside savoring his last taste of life as an untethered man when we notice his neighbor acting about as strange as anyone who's been trapped in a grief-stricken witch's mind for the last 72 hours would.
Whoop-de-doo-doo-doo. Please take this as another explicit indicator that shit is messed up in this town. Or maybe I just have really crappy depth perception. Who's to say?
Well, it sure be handy if I could somehow awaken these clearly trapped townspeople and unearth their suppressed personalities to aid in my understanding of this situation.
Interior Brady Bunch living room. Yes, the decor is still atrocious. A nearly crowning Elizabeth control an entire town, but can't seem to slow the miracle's childbirth in time for Paul's return. So thank goodness Tayona's still around.
Unlike that hack, Dr. Oglesby, sorry for mispronouncing your name, as a woman, I inherently understand the medical complexities of executing a safe childbirth, I think. I mean, I watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy, which basically counts, right?
Tayona conveniently conceals Elizabeth's bottom half just behind a couch because this isn't knocked up, and no one needs to see that shit in real life.
Push it real good.
Elizabeth expels a fully formed infant into her concealed nether regions seconds before Paul and Dr. Oglesby burst in.
Oh, probably shouldn't have stopped for tacos on the way home, huh?
Elizabeth then magically conjures a second newborn because why the fuck not?
And to think we almost had to compromise on the name.
Paul and Elizabeth share a cute family moment before the reality of parenting kicks in. And then Paul ditches her once again to transport useless Dr. Oglesby back home, leaving Tayona to help babysit.
Wow. Do you have twins in the family or something?
Oh, shit, you're right. I'm a twin. It's been so long since anyone acknowledged Aaron's existence, I totally forgot about him.
Oh, right, that guy. It's probably too late to get him for this show, huh? Time for plan B, I guess.
So, that metallic dude, James Spader, totally murdered your brother back in 2015, didn't he?
Get out of my house!
Cut to Elizabeth is watching over her babies with serial killer eyes when a visibly shaken Purpaul returns home.
Lizzie, darling, what's that Tayona-shaped hole doing inside of our house?
No reason.
Cut to just outside of town, we watch a severely concussed Tayona burst through a glitched force field and tumble onto the grass next to a mysterious base camp.
Oh, you like that, huh? You want to know more? See ya in a week, suckers!
Exterior episode 4. Finally, some normal Marvel shit. An intense close-up shows pieces of dust rematerializing into present-day Tayona.
Surprise! Here's a devastating flashback to what really happened when Robert Downey Jr. decided to prioritize the life of his child over the rest of the world. That prick.
Your mom's dead, kid. Me. Oh, I'm also this person. Wow, thanks for nothing.
Oh, yeah. Lashana's my mom. What a great twist that no one saw coming, right?
Interior Shield Hydra Sword headquarters. Tayona power walks in her power suit to the front desk to prove just how powerful she is.
Look, my dead mom started this whole operation, so you should definitely know who I am and let me in. Plus, do you really want to see what a powerful woman with unprocessed grief can do when provoked?
You might as well call me Dick right off the bat. I'm only keeping up this nice older white guy facade for the next half hour.
Oh, hey, Josh. Long time no see. As in, I was just non-existent for 5 years, and I haven't seen you since my mom was alive, which is something I've definitely devoted enough time to properly grieving. Thank you for asking. Anything I missed around here?
Besides that I've wrestled from undermines the entire mission statement of your dead mom, redirected our resources towards pissing off overpowered aliens as if I didn't watch any news over the last 5 years, and am harboring the $3 billion carcass of a forgotten Avenger in the back room. Nope. Not really.
Great. Let's talk about astronauts.
Did somebody say Fantastic Four?
No. Way to jump to irrational conclusions, dude. No one's thinking that, right?
Reading endless online comments and Reddit threads while sweating. Interior douchey director's den. Josh has lured Tayona into his private office to present her with a big unwanted demotion.
So let me get this straight. You want me to take a field trip with my remote control helicopter?
Look, we got to move this thing along, so just go with it, okay?
Exterior New Jersey town of innocent bystanders. Tayona takes a wee little road trip down to nowhere important, New Jersey, to meet up with that FBI dude who idolizes Paul Rudd.
Yes, I now have the most riveting character arc in the entire MCU.
I'm ready to get stuck into this.
Touches the glitchy barrier, literally gets stuck in it. Hopelessly alone.
Was it something I said?
Exterior impromptu base. That random glasses chick from Thor, Dr. Kat Dennings, thank you very much, arrives on scene to science the shit out of this whole situation. To do this, I'm going to need a TV, a futon, and an endless supply of chips and coffee.
Okay, seriously, who hired her?
Solves the problem in 2 seconds flat. Immediately starts binge watching WandaVision like the rest of us chumps. You were saying? Interior conspiracy theory whiteboard room. Randall and Kat finally take a break from their WandaVision marathon to actually do some investigating. Wow, Elizabeth clearly didn't see budget for A-list actors in her show.
I hope no one looks too closely at this wall with a big striking clue about Kathryn's true identity on it.
Suddenly, a cup of instant noodles meets an unfortunate demise. Rip lunch. Also, I see Tayona on screen, which I guess was technically the whole reason why this team up in the first place. Several hours pass. Kat and Randall are in their 53rd consecutive episode when suddenly the scene skips past Tayona's disappearance. Crap. I think we just missed something. I'm going to rewind a bit and try again. Maybe it's just buffering. Foolishly tries again. Nothing changes.
This is like that time my grandma paused the VCR during Titanic so that it wouldn't record the car scene for me.
The plot advancement alarm suddenly starts wailing, and Kat and Randall hurry outside to investigate. The aspect ratio then sinisterly widens to reveal 1970s Elizabeth and Tayona in a tense standoff.
You're not my neighbor. The Hot Topic necklace gives it away.
I really should have seen this coming.
Gets slammed through 4 walls, and damn it, Marvel, that's pretty clever. Another second too late, Purpaul bursts through the door.
Lizzie, I'm starting to worry this is all you're doing.
Who, me?
Yes,
Suddenly
you.
unaware of the gaping hole in his forehead.
Screw it. You're right. Have everything under control.
Cut to mostly incoherent line on a field.
This is definitely Lizzie's fault. In case you can tell. Was that?
Nice try. Now where's Mephisto?
Stringing everyone along.
Just you wait.
Exterior episode 5. This one is really important, okay? Don't say we didn't warn you. Elizabeth and Paul are failing to pacify their screaming twins and hardcore regretting that whole merging the beds thing from a few weeks back.
As a magical witch, this parenting thing should be a snap, right?
Crying hysterically.
Apparently not so much.
On a break from physical music video shoot.
Something's not right with those babies.
The Wailing twin babies magically morph into troubling twin toddlers, and everyone's only minorly perturbed by it.
Certainly not the weirdest thing I've seen this week.
Cut to exterior melodramatic ballad with a horrifying baby Purpaul face swap experiment gone wrong. Traumatized by baby Purpaul staring deep into their souls.
You can't unsee that.
Interior family ties kitchen. The twins are trying to conceal their new dog, emotional manipulation Mutt, from their parents.
Gee, thanks for making a major family decision without me, darling.
Don't forget whose name comes first in the title, honey. Also, I've decided that Kathryn is basically the overbearing aunt now.
Oh,
Huddling the
you're
Mutt.
so cute. I could just hug you to death. Oh.
Panics. Interior impromptu base camp team meeting. Tiona is back from her guest starring gig, giving Randall and Kat ample opportunity to fangirl. Tiona, I just think you're the coolest, most impressive person in this entire operation. And also, you're one apparent dose of radiation away from getting superpowers. So you shouldn't go back through that barrier anytime soon. Unless you're into that sort of thing.
Here's a handy Age of Ultron recap because we know no one actually watched it.
That was the most blatant retconning since people decided that Tom Holland was the kid at Robert Downey Jr.'s Tech Expo.
Look, people, Lizzie is scary as shit. And we should all take her very seriously and avoid doing anything that might provoke her. Understood?
Coerces an underling to fire a massive drone at Elizabeth's family.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
Thick, unidentifiable accent.
Oh, no, you did not.
Brainwashes soldiers to aim their guns at Josh.
Here's a Magneto homage for all those suckers still expecting mutants to show up.
Lizzie, maybe we could, I don't know, chat, grieving gal to grieving gal?
Nice try. See ya in hell, Tiona.
Hell, Mephisto's confirmed.
Interior clunky computer conference room. Meanwhile, oblivious to the fact that his family very nearly got obliterated by a drone just now, Paul busies himself with discovering the vast wonders of electronic mail with his coworkers.
What? A charming invention that surely will become the biggest time suck for all the working adults.
Paul taps into his ever-evolving power set and yanks off Asif's rose-colored glasses.
What day is it? Oh crap, how long have I been away from Twitter? What have I missed? What's trending? All right, and how's my family?
Who's doing this to you, Asif?
It's definitely a woman, but that's all I'll tell you. Gotta keep those Kathryn Witch theories alive, you know?
Interior family ties living room. Finally sick of this shit, Paul confronts Elizabeth before the credits roll.
Fess up, Lizzie.
Gaslighting Paul actual line.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Enough is enough.
He dramatically rage switches back into Purpaul Bettany.
I'm starting to suspect I'm not actually real, and that kind of discovery really fucks with the synthezoid's personal identity, okay? I am freaking out over here.
Fortunately for Elizabeth's accountability avoidance efforts, the doorbell interrupts them.
Hey, sis, it's me, Evan.
Winks.
Aaron.
Squints real hard in dim lighting. Puts on her glasses.
Are you sure?
Off screen. Wow, talk about a glow up.
Hold on. I'm getting it. Go nuts with those mutant and multiverse theories, babies.
Exterior episode 6. Halloween episode in February? Sure. Why not? A camcorder style punk rock intro sequence proves that twins should have been the showrunners all along. Interior Malcolm in the middle living room. The Olsen clan is all decked out for their dollar store costumes, but a wizened Paul refuses to stick to the script anymore.
Yes, what better way to spend our first family holiday by bailing to run my own covert op?
It's all good, bro-in-law. Nobody needs you anyways. I'm the special guest star this week.
Exterior pandemic's nightmare. Hordes of children are clustered way too close together to go trick-or-treating in broad fucking daylight because these townspeople are absolutely psychopaths.
Hey, Jet, let's teach these losers a lesson.
Evan and Jet speed off in a blur of petty larceny and property damage.
That's my boy.
Interior impromptu base camp. Everyone is panicking because no one bothered to listen to Tiona's warning about Elizabeth.
Now is definitely the time to say I told you so.
Actual line.
Maybe it's a good thing you weren't here when your mother died, because clearly you don't have the stomach for this job.
Did you really just make your mom reference to her dead mom? Cold, dude.
I'm really just full douchebag now.
Addressing the trio.
You three, you're fired.
Tiona, Randall, and Kat are forcibly escorted out into the rain before Randall goes rogue and beats the ever-loving crap out of some nameless sword lackeys to escape. Geez, dude, if you wanted a sword poncho so bad, you could have just asked. Exterior, that Gilmore Girls gazebo. Evan is blatantly badgering Elizabeth with questions while her unsupervised yet superpowered offspring cavort around town doing God knows what.
Since Funko Pop's already spoiled that I'm an imposter, I might as well use this opportunity to get some answers. Are you being coerced by Mephisto, Nightmare, the Grim Reaper, Agatha Harkness, Magneto, Reed Richards, Professor X, Doctor Strange, Ultron, or Al Pacino? Blink once for yes.
I was just super sad, okay? It's been a rough few years for me. That's all there is to it.
Desperately trying to stop the already derailed theory train.
Please listen to her, you guys.
So, Al Pacino then. Got it.
Interior hijacked sword van. The banished trio hacks into Tyler's top secret Purpaul dossier with less effort than it takes to open a tight jar of pickles. Chuckles in spite of himself.
Good.
Project Cataract for White Vision. That's actually pretty clever.
Exterior, the end of the road. Kathryn is not at all suspiciously idling on the highway. And does nobody care about the environment in this town?
Kathryn, I want to help the people. What should I do?
Don't bother. We're already screwed.
Cackles maniacally. Exterior, that Gilmore Girls gazebo. Elizabeth is too distracted by Evan to sense that Purpaul is seconds away from biting the dust for the third time.
Mom, why am I having visions of Dad disintegrating into a million puzzle pieces?
Recalls House of M comic book cover.
Oh, shit.
A supercharged Elizabeth freezes everyone, expands the boundary, and saves Purpaul. Grinning wickedly.
Your hatred fuels me.
Exterior, episode 7. Unironically self-deprecating. Elizabeth is still in bed, recovering from her recent Halloween bender.
I'm planning to cut myself off from the rest of the world as punishment for actually expressing an emotion that no one should come into my home for the next, 14 months?
Pauses and considers.
Yes, this sentiment is going to age splendidly.
Exterior, just a bunch of clowns clowning around. A miraculously still alive Purpaul spots Kat chained to a car and immediately tries to hit on her. That scoundrel.
You know what they say about guys with comically large shoes?
Playing a dinner waitress, escape artist. Normally, I'd say this is all. Normally, I'd be all over this, but aren't you married?
What I meant was they usually have really big brains, which is a roundabout way of saying I need your big brain to help me out here.
Oh, thank God. I can be the comedic sidekick again. All that bona fide character development was giving me a rash. Interior, Dunphy living room. Elizabeth is really nailing this whole quarantine thing.
I need to abduct your children. I mean, give a weary mother a break.
Ooh, yes, a break sounds like just what the doctor ordered.
Willingly hands over Jet and Julian without their consent.
Sorry, that was me. Did someone call for a doctor?
Face palms.
Bettany, did you not read the email? You got cut.
Well, this is awkward.
Exterior, just a field, okay? Tayona and Randall pull up to the grassy field to meet up with no one in particular. Trust us. So that Tayona can have one last shot at that superhero stuff.
This is totally gonna work.
Climbs into a massive space rover. Immediately gets claustrophobic and aborts mission.
This totally didn't work.
What's that sound?
The superhero origin story alarm starts blaring.
That's my cue.
Runs headfirst into the wall of radiation, inexplicably sans helmet.
That lady's got a death wish.
Tayona gets sucked into the Matrix, but by choice this time, so it's totally fine.
I don't get paid for these recycled voiceovers, do I?
Nope.
Brie?
Definitely not.
Against all odds, really only a few odds, Tayona makes it through the barrier.
Let's keep my powers just vague enough to give the focus group some time to settle on my superhero alias, all right?
Interior funnel cake truck. Kat and Purpaul are bonding over some deep fried cake batter while on the way back into town. Through a mouthful of funnel cake.
Can you summarize Infinity War for me?
Non-seductively licks powdered sugar off of her fingers. You loved Lizzie. Lizzie loved you. Lizzie killed you. And you didn't, it didn't work. Lizzie watched you get murdered. Pretty standard.
People seriously still don't think this is a story about grief?
Flies off to rescue his wife from bad takes. Interior the Dunphy house. Tayona rudely bursts in without even bothering to knock.
Don't make me say that Carl Lumbly line again.
Aggressively magics Tayona out of her house in full view of the neighbors. Luckily, Tayona has finessed her superhero landing. Tayona.
Sorry, I missed my line. Oh, there you go. Found it. Sorry. Lizzie, emergency therapy session now.
Pulls up a couch.
Look, you're sad. I get it. I too am sad.
Choked up.
Wow, that's remarkably astute of you. Thank you for actually acknowledging my struggle.
Sensing an impending breakthrough, Kathryn hurries outside to shut that shit down. Smoothly. Kathryn.
We see you, can't hear you.
Lizzie, look away from the light.
Sobers up, points angrily at Tayona.
Is
Less
this
than
the salad cat meme?
Interior, clearly a witch's lair. Elizabeth wisely declines Kathryn's offer of tea that's 100% been laced with something. But then, not so wisely, enters the ominous basement in search of her crust-hating children.
Boys, how much further into this hellscape should I venture before I realize you're not down here?
Just then, Kathryn appears in the basement with a gnarly case of bedhead and a 2022 Grammy already in her hands.
Who's been messing up everything? The Mephisto fans all along. Who thinks mutants cause everything? Crazy Redditors all along. The show was always, I don't even know how the rest of this goes. All those tiny clauses you overthought were just because. We threw all of those sneaky hints. Just go and fuck up your plans. We're in the MCU, not a MCU. We're the MCU. Pissing off fans.
A beat.
And we multi-baited. Multiverse baited too.
I don't have it. Stream that track on Spotify and Apple Music and overused on TikTok starting next week.
Exterior mid-credits scene, Teyana gets busted by Evan for lurking on Kathryn's Tumblr page for clues about what happens next. Exterior episode 8, get ready for some sad shit. Back in the 1600s, long before she was the witchiest bitch in the Westview, Kathryn proves she's the bitchiest witch con in Salem. Horrifying de-aged.
This is where our CGI budget went, in case y'all were wondering.
Murders her entire coven in cold blood. Interior, Elizabeth's childhood memories. Kathryn is forcing Elizabeth to relive that time her parents got blown up for having bootleg VCRs, which is a pleasant reminder that piracy is a crime, people. You wouldn't steal a handbag. You wouldn't steal a...
Make it stop! I'll actually pay for my Disney Plus subscription from now on, okay?
I've evolved from neighbor to aunt to the most passive aggressive, but still being helpful in a very roundabout way superhero therapist ever seen.
From the set of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Want to bet?
By now, fully seated in the depression stage of grief, Elizabeth watches a highlight reel of even more of her past tragedies.
I'm doing this to get you to reveal your magical secrets, Lizzie, and to also heavily retcon your origin story, because we're still, not done undermining Age of Ultron.
You mean to tell me I've had all these chaotic abilities all along? Well, that would have been nice to know a couple dead relatives ago.
Elizabeth begrudgingly goes along with Kathryn's immersive therapy technique. She comes face to face with her most devastating memory yet, watching sitcoms on a cheap-ass portable TV stand, despite living in luxurious Avengers compound.
What is misery if not more company?
Flashback, Elizabeth stares at him blankly.
No, wait, that's not it.
Tries again.
What is despair if not the most depressed you'll ever feel?
Rubs his non-existent stubble.
Not quite.
Tries once more. Actual line.
But what is grief if not love persevering?
Sniffing.
Oh, damn, that's good.
Via flashback.
You seem like the kind of guy a gal could construct a false reality with.
Back in the present day, Elizabeth is more distraught than ever.
Sorry, blowing my nose. And now Paul's bed too, though. Tough cookies. Not though. Tough cookies, Lizzie. Tough
This just
cookies.
isn't fair.
With fierce determination, she marches into Sword headquarters, breaks down the door, takes out half a dozen guards, snatches Purpaul's lifeless corpse, and flies off in a blurry of red wiggly woos.
Just kidding. That's what you thought happened, didn't you?
In reality, a somber Elizabeth cries a little, quotes Infinity War, while caressing Purpaul's caved-in forehead, leaves uneventfully and drives off alone in an Audi in a fucking Buick Verano because the Avengers are monsters. Exterior, real shithole, New Jersey. Flashback, Elizabeth drives into a sorry excuse for a small town.
We can all agree I made this place way better, right?
She arrives at an empty lot of land and unveils a property deed with a little heart drawn in it by Purpaul. And I'm not crying. You're crying. Don't look at me.
Time to channel all these emotions into something actually constructive, I guess.
Through her unbelievable grief, Elizabeth transforms shithole New Jersey into a charming roadside attraction, constructs a picture-perfect family home, and creates a fully functional Purpaul to boot.
What can I say? I'm impressed.
Have I finally earned my big superhero name drop moment?
What the hell? All right.
Plunks a rock at Elizabeth's feet with the words Scarlet Witch painted on it.
Happy?
And after weeks of ruining everyone's day, we see that Please Stand By screen has finally been vanquished. Exterior mid-credit scene. Purpaul is having second thoughts.
So I may have mentioned something about how I'm excited for spending time with a big actor and I've always wanted to work with when I really just kind of met myself. Do you think that's going to be a problem? Quite the opposite. Going to be so funny and witty and clever and not blown out of proportion or misinterpreted by fans at all.
Exterior episode 9. That's all, folks. We mean it. No season 2. Meh. Screw the sitcoms. We jump right back into action, as in, there's finally some physical fighting to do with this superhero story, only for everything to get resolved with basically zero action. Suspended by harnesses.
Maybe I shouldn't have said I'd love to do my own stunts.
Elizabeth shoots some chaos magic. Did we really need a name for that? At Kathryn in the street, and where the hell is Purpaul?
Lizzie, darling, it's totally me, your resurrected husband. I just accidentally used bleach instead of body wash. Yeah, that's it.
Close enough.
Questions it.
Close enough.
Very not so much not her husband, pale Bettany, then immediately tries crushing Elizabeth's head like a grape before she's miraculously saved by a very much is her husband, Purpaul Bettany, who swoops in.
I know my timing has been shit up until now, but I came in clutch at the end.
Purpaul then takes off in pursuit of Pale, his only evenly matched combat opponent. Interior man cave, Teyona is trapped while Evan makes a smoothie.
Are you sure you're not a mutant?
Nah, but I think a tasteless dick joke will absolutely be as satisfying way to wrap up the long-standing mystery of my identity.
Teyona, a classy woman, is not amused. Yanks off Evan's puka bead necklace.
So the secret to your mind control from Kathryn is tacky jewelry, huh? Spring break must have been fun this year.
Interior, Dude Broad Library. The two Pauls are duking it out with zero regard for library custodial staff.
Die, Purpaul, die! How about we stop punching each other and instead engage in an exceptionally thought-provoking philosophical discussion on identity metaphysics that everyone's definitely going to need to Google later. Smashing!
Exterior Town Square. Jet and Julian team up with Teyona's powers to wipe the floor with the U.S. military and Josh.
Why, yes, I am shooting point blank at a couple of 10-year-olds. I see no issue with this.
Out of nowhere, Josh gets bulldozed by a funnel cake truckload of better judgment from behind the wheel. Super glad I came back for this moment. Exterior, the sky. Meanwhile, Kathryn and Elizabeth literally hang out above the town. Attempts to shoot at Kathryn with some action.
This needs to look like a believable fight.
Try so hard. Those shills will take whatever we give them.
dodges Elizabeth's blasts. Suddenly, Elizabeth reveals that she was actually paying attention when Kathryn was monologuing about runes last week.
What can I say? I'm a fast learner.
Sucks Kathryn dry of all her three-dimensional characterization, morphs into her comics accurate persona.
Only took 6 years.
So turned on right now.
Same.
A fully overpowered Elizabeth banishes Kathryn to forgotten co-star development hell alongside Sam Rockwell and Liv Tyler.
I'll be seeing you in approximately 3 to 10 years, Kathryn.
Interior very sad house. Now that all the fighting's done, Elizabeth charmingly murders her children in their sleeps. Tearfully.
I'm sure gonna miss you, Paul.
Well, I'll always love you, Lizzie, no matter where I am. Hey, that's my line!
Elizabeth kills Purpaul again, but because she wants to this time. So it's even more sad. Probably. Exterior town square of despair. Her family may be all gone, but that doesn't mean Elizabeth is done ruining people's lives.
All these people hate you, Lizzie, and rightfully so. I would, too, if I didn't become a superhero because of you. So, thanks.
Glaring daggers at Elizabeth.
You're gonna pay for this.
Consequences? What are those?
She salutes her former prisoners and flies off, probably in search of a rebound pale Bettany. Not quite. The end. Oh, wait. Interior mid-credit scenes. Teyona gets summoned to the theater where Agent Skrill recruits her for insert multi-picture deal here.
So, I'm sticking around for a while?
Way up in space somewhere.
I'm here to talk to you about the Feige initiative.
The end. But still, not really. Exterior post-credit scene. Elizabeth is that one annoying friend who actually used self-isolation to her advantage. Astral projection with ease, like the boss bitch she is.
So far in lockdown, I've bought a cabin, learned how to astral project, summoned a demonic entity, made gray sweatsuits cool again, and now I'm about to go multiverse hopping. What have you done?
Actual end.
And that is the entirety of WandaVision. Thank you so much for joining us on this one. And, we'll see you at the next one.